and welcome. I'm excited to be a part of this new high school groundbreaking celebration and to welcome you all today. We'd like to share a spoken word poem performed by us students. I had the opportunity to help write much of it and work to ensure our collective student voices, perspectives, and hopes are reflected in what comes next. Joining me in sharing today's reading and representing each of ISD's feeder patterns are middle school students Hiron Lim, a sixth grader from Pine Lake Middle School, Nathan Sanabria Rodriguez, a sixth grader from Maywood Middle School, Canon Wakabayashi, an eighth grader from Issaquah Middle School, Anika Ladad, an eighth grader from Pacific Cascade Middle School, and Milan Opare Adado, an eighth grader from Beaver Lake Middle School. This piece is titled, What We Build Builds Us. I want to tell you something about this dirt. Not the ceremony of it, not the golden shovels, the dirt itself. Because before this ground held a dream, it held a people. The Snoqualmie, Stokabu, the people of the moon, not named for sunlight, not named for certainty, named for the light that shows up in the dark. It disappears and keeps coming back. They have been here since time immemorial, and I used to hear that phrase and let it pass through me like it was just a ceremony of words. But immemorial means before memory, before written record, before anyone thought to count. This land was home before it had an owner, before it had a price, before anyone called it a plateau. The creek they called Squash didn't ask for permission to exist. It carved this valley the same way it still does, by returning, every single time. And this school, 10 years of community impact, 10 years of challenges, 10 years of returning to this field and choosing again and again to believe. Like the moon, like the creek, like the people who named them both, before us, women came to this hill to learn inside Providence Heights College. Their voices, rising from the same soil, reaching for the same sky. Layer after layer, this land has held those who dared to learn. We are not the beginning. We are the next breath of a story that refuses to end.
Today, we break ground on something that isn't finished yet. And I don't mean the construction. I mean the idea. This school is not complete when it opens because the students who walk through its doors are not finished yet. That is not a flaw. That is the design. There's always more to build. There's always more to become.
Here's a question no textbook will ask you. The one that shows up for every student at some point. Can I do this? Will I be ready? Will I have what I need? Will I be able to succeed? There's no single answer to that question, no simple guarantee. No one-size-fits-all path, but there is something this school is built to do. Help you learn how to learn, help you learn how to think, help you build the skills to keep going when things get hard. This school does not promise easy answers. It promises something more lasting. The ability to keep asking, to keep growing, and to keep becoming ready.
We are the first generation to grow up knowing that a machine can write our essays, answer our questions, and sound almost exactly like us. Almost. What it cannot do, what no algorithm can replace, is wonder. Wonder why it matters. Wonder who it leaves out. Wonder what the right question even is. This school will teach us the difference between information and wisdom. And when we're drowning in the first, that is everything.
I want to talk about walking into a room and not seeing yourself. The way your voice gets quieter before anyone tells it to, the way you learn to shrink into spaces not built for you. This school, every seat, every hallway, and every corner of it is being built for students who have spent too long making themselves smaller. Here, you are not a guest, you're not tolerated. You are the whole point. every language, every story, every dream still hiding behind someone's quiet. You belong here completely.
Do you know what the school really is? It is a love letter written by people to children they will never meet, the voters who showed up, the families who kept asking, the teachers who believed in classrooms that didn't exist yet, the neighbors who said yes for kids who weren't theirs, not by blood, not by name, but by something older than both. Community, the invisible architecture beneath every wall we build. You cannot pour that in concrete. You cannot see it in a blueprint, but it is here. It has always been here, and because of it, so are we.
Right on. Somewhere in this district, a child is eating lunch who doesn't know this field exists. She's 7, maybe 8. She has no idea that on a Friday in April, people stood in dirt and broke ground for her. She doesn't know her name will Sunday echo in these hallways. She doesn't know that the dream has always been dreaming of her. That is the quietly most powerful thing about legacy. It works without witness. We build for the child who cannot thank us yet. We build anyways.
I have to be honest with you. I don't know what this school becomes. None of us do. We don't know what the world will ask of these students who walk through these doors in 2027. We don't know what jobs will exist, what problems will need solving, what skills will matter by the time they graduate. In 2016, when this community first voted to begin this journey, they were making a long-term promise. They could not know every change that would come. None of us do. And still, they said yes. That is not naivety or uncertainty. That is commitment. That is the bravest kind of love and deepest kind of belief, to invest in a future that will continue to unfold long after the moment of decision has passed. The students who opened this school were in 2nd grade when this ground was first promised to them. They didn't ask for it. They were 7 years old. They were learning to read, and someone, all of you, looked at them and decided they deserve more room to grow. I won't be here when this school opens, and I've never been more at peace with my own irrelevance. Because that is what it means to build something real, to care so completely about what comes after you that you stop counting what you get in return. The creek will keep carving, the moon will keep returning, the people of the moon will keep teaching us what it means to belong to a place so completely that you never stop coming back to it. And this school, this patient, hard-won, long-awaited beginning will do what all great schools do. It will outlast us. It will hold voices we haven't heard yet. It will ask questions we don't know how to ask. It will build people who build things we cannot imagine. So today, we lift our shovels in celebration, not because we know what comes next, but because we trust the ones who will. What we build builds us. What we begin today belongs to them, and that is enough. That has always been enough. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce and welcome School Board President A.J. Taylor.
Before I begin my comments, I want to just pause and have us all just reflect on the powerful words shared by our students. I think they remind us of what happens here is not just about a building taking shape, it's about people taking shape. The experiences, relationships, and opportunities that will define students' lives long after they leave this place. So thank you to each of you for your comments. They were fantastic. You're a hard act to follow. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am A.J. Taylor of the Issaquah School Board, and I am currently the president of the school board. On behalf of my fellow school board members here today, Dr. Harlan Gallinger, Sydney Mullings and Matt Coyne, thank you for your leadership and your unwavering focus on our students. And to Director Natalie Anderson, who could not be here today due to a family and school commitment, thank you to her for modeling what it means to put children first. To the former school board members, superintendents, educators who are standing, we are standing on your shoulders, continuing the work you began, bringing your original vision closer to reality. Thank you for your continued support. I also want to acknowledge our parents, caregivers, community partners, families, neighbors, current district leaders and educators, bond and levy committee members, volunteer campaign supporters, and our elected officials. If you are an elected official here with us today, would you mind standing? You might already be standing, but stand so we can recognize you. That would be great. Thank you. Thank you for your support of our students in our district. Today feels meaningful in a way that's hard to fully capture, perhaps, in words alone. Not because of the ceremony itself, but because of what this moment represents for our students, our families, and our entire community. For many of you, this has been years in the making and part of a long journey to get here. For some, it may have felt uncertain at times, like something you hoped for, but weren't sure would ever truly happen. You showed up to meetings, you asked questions, you stayed engaged, even when the path forward wasn't clear. And yet here we are, on the ground where something new will begin. This project began with a clear and pressing need. Our high schools were beyond capacity and remain overcrowded today, and that need continues. Our voters made a commitment in 2016 to build a new high school, but what followed was not simple. This project faced legal challenges, land use, appeals, and permitting delays that extended the timeline far beyond what anyone originally anticipated. But by the time the district was able to acquire the property in 2020, the pandemic, advanced technology, and a rapidly changing economy had altered our region. In 2022, this community did not walk away, and voters again approved funding to address rising construction costs, to keep the project moving forward, but we once again faced opposition and delays. In 2025, our board made a decision to move forward in a responsible, cost-effective way to honor original voter commitment. Over the past decade, there were moments, real moments, when this project could have stalled. But through every step, one constant has remained: our students. Projects like this, especially ones that matter this much, bring different perspectives. To those who supported this school from the very beginning, thank you. And to those who raised concerns or asked us to think differently, thank you as well. Your voices all mattered. They pushed this project to be more thoughtful in its design, more responsive to its surroundings, and more intentional in how it serves both students and neighbors beyond the school day. That work and access makes this a better school and a better part of this community. As a board member and as a parent, this moment matters deeply to me. Today is not just about breaking ground, it's about perspective and perseverance. It's about commitment, and it's about moving forward. This school will be a place of innovation, strengthening opportunities across all of our high schools, and creating clear pathways to college, careers, and service. It will be a place where learning connects to the real world through hands-on experiences, new technologies, and community and industry partnerships. So every student graduates with the skills, confidence, and credentials to thrive. And it will serve this district for generations to come. Because what we begin today will outlast all of us. It will serve students we may never meet, families we may never know, but a future that we help shape right now. Thank you to our community for your partnership and your belief in our students. And now, it is my honor to introduce our superintendent, Heather Talyuk.
Thank you, President Taylor, and good morning, everyone. It's truly meaningful to stand here today alongside students, families, educators, elected officials, community members, and leaders to mark this moment together. I want to also thank our communications, operations, admin support team, and capital projects team for making this event happen, and our partners on the construction side. Moments like this don't happen very often, and they don't happen without years or more than 10 years of commitment from a community that does believe in its students. And to our students, thank you. I was near tears and thinking about your reflections because it was very touching and your words were so meaningful and the way you delivered every single word was powerful. One line that stayed with me is, "We are not the beginning, we are the next breath of a story that refuses to end." This is exactly what today represents, the continuation of something much bigger, a story of learning, growth, and opportunity that each of you will carry forward. As leaders in education, this is a responsibility that we take seriously. Every student deserves a place where they are seen, where they are challenged, and where they are inspired. A place where curiosity is encouraged, not limited, where questions are welcomed, where students are given the space to discover who they are and what they want to become. As President Taylor shared, we stayed the course, not for the sake of adult disagreements or processes, but for children and for families. My role is to talk about where we are going and why that matters for students today and tomorrow. Because while buildings matter, what happens inside them matters even more. High school is changing because the world around us has changed, and the world facing our students today upon graduation is more uncertain than ever. The experiences I think all of us had are certainly not the same experiences our students will need moving forward. So we have this responsibility not to recreate the past, but to design for the future. That means creating learning environments that are flexible, connected to the real world, and responsive to student voice. Where learning is not confined to a single pathway, but an opening for doors that will lead to many possibilities. Our leadership team is actively exploring a range of opportunities from engineering and robotics to entrepreneurship and health sciences. As President Taylor mentioned, we will have credential opportunities, industry partnership, learning experiences that are relevant, engaging, and career connected. But just as important as what we offer is how we offer and what learning leads to after graduation. We are designing with intention, ensuring equitable access, alignment with graduation requirements, and a strong foundation for both college and career pathways. Our students at this school, and ultimately across all of our high schools, will graduate with future-ready skills and strong foundations for both an economic mobility and pathway to the future. We will and have continued to listen closely to students, families, educators, administrators, and our board, and we are building something that is not fixed but adaptable. Because the students who will attend this school 5, 10, or 20 years away from now may need something different from what we imagine today, and this school should be ready for that. I'm already looking forward to the day when we gather again for the ribbon cutting, which is going to be very soon. But today, this moment belongs to our students because this is where it begins. So, we invite you to lead us and help us to take a shovel and to be the first to dig with our board and to help us really lay that first step for that will serve many generations to come. And I want to thank everyone for being here, for all your support, seeing every face here under this tent, and the faces beyond this tent, and we know this tent does extend much further. I'm deeply very grateful. So thank you.
Ready? 1, 2,